I really enjoyed reading the book. It was great to hear the stories of other women and reflect on my own journey as a woman in leadership. I think it's really important that we're encouraging women on their journey, because that's what will build their confidence and assist them to achieve their potential as a leader in education.
Oh, I think the book explodes some of the myths, as though it's better to have a man principal than a woman principal. The women principals take to it like water. They love kids and they find it's good fun. It's very eye-opening from that point of view. What comes through in the interviews is that most of the women, I suppose it's true of most principals, have got a sort of framework within which they do their work. Years ago that wouldn't have been the case, but now they're so well qualified when they come in. We've got a graduate teaching service now, of course. They seem to have a wider vision of what the school is and what they want to do with it. I find that very refreshing.
Well, what really interested me was the sense of humour that came through with the book. There were lots of stories of people's career paths, some planned, many unplanned, and the importance of people's support networks. What came across to me though was really the magic and the joy of leadership that was interwoven through each of the stories that each of these significant women leaders have told.
I was thrilled to see the outcome of the stories that we'd put together for the book. I think it's really readable, that aspirant leaders have got lots of good advice there. I think that everybody's experience is different, but there's the same underlying themes through each of the stories. And I think that a really strong message there is that it's doable.
And I was fascinated to see that there are familiar threads running and themes running right throughout the book. I would advise women not to wait till they think that they've got everything ready. They're already really good leaders, and they really care about children and know about education. Take up the challenge and take the plunge and have a go at it, because I'm sure it's very rewarding.
Well, I think when I started teaching, there weren't a lot of opportunities for women in the secondary sector in particular. All of the leadership roles were filled mostly by men, and I certainly didn't see myself as a leader. And having been in the leadership role, it's been a wonderful opportunity. I've grown enormously, and when I was asked to do this book, I wanted to do it because I wanted to explain to my daughters and my two granddaughters what women can do and how you can actually become quite fulfilled and reach your own potential through leadership.
I think this book will make a wonderful contribution to encouraging people to go into school leadership, and specifically for women. We're a female-dominated workforce and we have so much untapped talent there. I think the joys, the highs and the lows, and the stories and the learning that we can get from these stories is outstanding, and it'll make a wonderful contribution to encouraging people to step up to the plate and move into school leadership.
Writing my story was something that I was very concerned about, and when Jim asked me to do it, I thought, oh no, I can't write, I'm not a very good writer, and I knew that it was going to be an arduous task for me. It's not my strength. However, it came easier than I thought, and at the end of the story, when I'd finished, it really impacted on the way I went back to my school and worked. It showed me the importance of mentoring and having a special person who can actually take you from where you are and develop your skills and strengths, and people who had faith and confidence in you.
In my own case, I thought that one day I would become a principal when I had gained all of the skills and acumen that was required. However, when I was thrust into the principalship, I found that there were only too many people that were willing to help me and to assist me. And it's knowing what you don't know and knowing where you can go and find that information. And I found a network of people who were willing to help me with that. And so my initial fears were quite unfounded.
In terms of the turning points, there were quite a few, but I came across two women in my career at Coburg High School when I was quite a young teacher, and they were both assistant principals of the school, both incredibly impressive women, and both very encouraging of me to take risks and have a go at various things. And they were just enormously supportive, and I can't stress it enough how important those people as role models had been in my life.
Clearly there's no one path, and to principalship it's very much one's own journey, and in reading and skimming the other authors' stories, you can only be humbled by what others have enjoyed along the way and their challenges. They're dissimilar in some respects and yet so similar in other ways. There can be empathy there for the challenges and the struggles that a number of them shared. And what I loved was just the candour of their journeys as well, because it's such a human thing to do, to write your own story about your journey, and I think the generosity of spirit of the other authors was really evident.
Well, my advice for young teachers and perhaps leading teachers of both genders would be to take that step earlier rather than later and grow into the role, and grow the role as you take on the issues, the concerns and the wonderful experiences that you're actually given in being a principal or being an assistant principal.
We're actually making progress. More women are getting into senior management positions, and that's good. The other thing is that it will help to remove the worry that some people have about taking on the principal's position. For something like 2 decades, we've found people reluctant even to apply for that, and women less so. But I think we're starting to get on top of that, because people understand it's good fun. It can be a very rewarding part of being an educator.